Well, hello, I'm Coach Rati, and today I'm here to tell you that happiness and success are not fixed destinations. I'm Rati, as I said, and I have a company. My company's called Creative Calling Coaching. And what we do here at Creative Calling Coaching is, oh, someone texted me as I'm doing a live stream. We help creatives and entrepreneurs, other divergent thinkers, focus so that you can grab the focus of others, get seen, and make money doing what you love. And people come to me all the time because they want to be successful. All right, great. That's what I decided to talk about today. But first, I want to bring your attention to the link in the description of this video. It is a link to opt into my newsletter, and by doing so, you receive a free gift. And this free gift is my 3 keys to deciding your next step in life, because that's what success begins with. It begins with a step, a first step, and a step requires a decision about which way to go. So it's a wonderful place to start your journey with me. I'll talk more about it later again. Anyway, here's my objective today. Today, my intention is to create a mind shift for you from thinking of success as, oh, did I put my thing back on? I feel like Mr. Magoo right now. Mr. Magoo. Here, this is better. Hopefully you can hear me now. So I want to create a mind shift for you today. That mind shift is the following. I want you to go from thinking of success as happily ever after, right, to a habit, to success being a repetitive thing, something you can actually practice every day. Tell you a little bit about what I mean, just making sure the microphone's there. All right. Take my client, Cal, a wonderful African-American poet. He wanted his dream coming to me was to be the next Langston Hughes. However, he was feeling paralyzed. Writer's block, I think they call it. Well, we started working. Fast forward. He has a book of anthologies, poetry written, that he has coming out that's going to be published as a zine on the internet. And he also is sending queries to various publishers. He writes every day now. And I'll tell you how did we get there? How did we get there? Well, we killed Cal's dream. What do you mean by that, Rati? That's sick. Well, no, it's not. Because I think Walt Disney has done more damage to artists than probably any creator that ever lived, in the sense that we have painted in the West this picture of success as looking a certain way. All right. You have athletes getting these $364 million a year contracts every year. And then you have teachers changing the lives of thousands of children, getting paid very, very little. To make matters worse in this culture, we equate fiscal remuneration and fame concurrently with success. Is it no wonder people want to off themselves? I think not. So here's the thing. Cal did not think it was permissible to just write, to be a writer, to create poetry. He was one of the last young men from his native neighborhood in Philadelphia to survive past the age of 30. So he decided that it was incumbent upon himself, if he was going to do something as capricious as become an artist, he better well be a famous, filthy rich one and win a Pulitzer Prize, or, don't bother. I don't know what the alternatives were, and neither did he. That was a pretty unhealthy place to be coming from. The dream to be, to be someone who represented his people, very noble. However, we had to take that burden off his shoulders so that Cal could start to experience success as a habit, so that he could start to identify with himself as a writer because he wrote. That was the success, writing something. Okay. I would say, the reframe for him in large part was the fact that living to tell his story, simply surviving and having something to say in writing, that in and of itself was a triumph and an act of revenge when you think about where we are in this society. In terms of race relations and the systems that have evolved in this country. Just be heard. That would be big. Just be heard. Get up and read a poem at an open mic and be heard. That is an act of defiance. That's being seen. So we had to change the definition of success from being the next Langston Hughes to being seen and heard as a poet. That's doable. You can actually create quantifiable goals at that, He started writing a poem a week. We set a goal to create an anthology by the end of the first quarter in which we worked together. We started putting the work out. He started getting up and became part of a writer's group and sharing the work. It was funny how writer's block just disappeared when he was able to give himself permission to just write and express himself without it being Pulitzer worthy. Amazing. It really, killing the dream in this instance really helped, because you know what? That wasn't really the dream. Being the next Langston Hughes wasn't really the dream. The dream was to make meaning and create and be heard and be a representative voice in his community at whatever level. That was the dream, right? See, grandiosity is a dream killer. In this culture, because of the way things are kind of screwed up, right? We tend to have this flip-flop between shame and grandiosity, right? An actor wants to be famous, and they start auditioning. They don't get called back. They're not living up to their fantasy. That grandiose bubble is popped. Psst. And you have the incapacitation of shame. Okay. Now, the antidote to grandiosity is humility. And what humility is not thinking less of yourself, but rather thinking about yourself less and putting your focus on what it is you're trying to do, what it is you're trying to make. And now we come to you. That's what I want you to start to do. What are you going to make today? Set 3 goals for yourself. And I've been talking in a very careerist fashion, but it could be 3 goals of any kind. Okay. It could be a personal goal. It could be, I'm going to work out for 10 minutes. It could be, I'm going to make this really scary phone call for this job interview. All right. It could be, I am going to write the outline for this one-act play. All right. Or you may end up not accomplishing those things. You may end up working out for 4 minutes. You may end up finding the phone number to call about the job interview, but not dialing the phone. You may end up basically just free writing about the one-act play and what you want it to be about, but you're not really sure of the structure, but you wrote a couple of lines of dialogue. At the end of the day, I want you to write down those 3 things that you actually did, because those are successes. You have succeeded in working out for 4 minutes. You have succeeded in finding that phone number. The goal tomorrow will be to call, but you have to count that win. You have succeeded in writing a line of dialogue every day. This is the action. Write down 3 successes. I don't care how small they are. Start to recognize success for what it is, having a vision, fulfilling it. Having a vision, turning it into a goal, no matter how small, and executing it. A success is basically following through on what it is you say you're going to do. That's success. And you have to start counting those successes every day. And if you do, you're going to find you have more and more mental command. You start to be able to count on yourself more when you say you're going to do something, because that's like you. It's something you've experienced before. Okay? So let's take success down off the mountaintop and bring it into the day-to-day. Now, you could say in summation that this is a form of counting your blessings daily. Oh, you mean like write 3 gratitudes a day? No. Nothing wrong with it. I think that's great. Do that too. Write 3 things you're grateful for, because it's very hard to be unhappy and grateful in the same moment. So that's a very good practice. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about keeping track of specific positive outcomes that you had a hand in creating and acknowledging those on a daily basis, so that you can start to experience success as a habit. I'm hoping you will take me up on this challenge. Now, before I sign off, I just want to again bring your attention to the link, because if you opt in, you will receive the gift I was talking about, the 3 keys to taking your next step in life. It is my runway method of decision making, because in order to start racking up those little wins, you got to know what the game is. You got to define the game. That's what the decision is. The game is, I am going to look for a new job. The game is, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. The game is, I am going to write a short story. Whatever the game is that you decide, you're going to stop flip-flopping about whether it's the right thing to do next once you use this tool. And then you can start racking up your wins every day. 3 things you do towards the accomplishment of that goal every day. Those are your 3 successes. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, I hope you will like it. I hope you will subscribe. I hope you will follow. And I hope you will share this video. I do this once a week on Thursdays. I hope you join me again at 5 o'clock. Again, I'm Rati Gorfine. If you like it, I'd love you to leave a comment. If you have a question, I hope you will post it. And I will see you again next week.